Hey, my name is Travis Dutka. I'm the Senior Director of Culture and Learning at 360 Insights, also known as the Culture Curator. We are a local, Whitby-based technology company with over 600 team members around the world. And I want to talk to you today about unraveling onboarding. I think that onboarding is fundamentally the most important part of the employee experience because it really sets the stage. It creates the experience and the expectation of how this new team member is going to be taken care of, what they can expect, who they can expect to interact with. It just really sets the stage for the rest of their career, whether it be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, that this team member is going to be with your organization. Now, there are a lot of documents, resources, videos, checklists. With a quick Google search of onboarding templates, onboarding checklists, onboarding roadmap, and you can find a very detailed step-by-step document on how to create an onboarding program. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, and there's probably people out there that are way smarter than I am that can give you the full scope of what onboarding should look like from a technical perspective. What I want to do is create a bit of an experience for you to understand onboarding and some of the nuances of onboarding, why it's important, maybe why 360 decided to do the things that we do to connect with the team members. So I want to talk in broader terms around onboarding. I believe that there are some core elements to creating a great culture, a great organizational culture. One of them is around communication, how you communicate, what you communicate. 2 is around connection, building connections. 3 is around celebrating, and 4 is around checking in. So I want to look at onboarding through the lens of communicate, connect, celebrate, and check in. A couple fun facts to kick it off is 5% of new employees will quit after a disastrous first day. You don't want to create a disastrous first day. So onboarding allows us to kind of step away from that. 20% of new employees leave within the first 45 days when onboarding isn't on par. And almost 1/3 of new team members leave within the first year. Now, on the flip side of that, 58% of team members are likely to stay 3 years or more when they have a great onboarding experience. 50% greater productivity. There's a lot of stats around onboarding, and you can dig into that just with a simple Google search. The studies are there, the research is there. Effective onboarding creates an amazing experience for new team members. It allows them to integrate into the company. It allows them to feel like they belong. It allows them to become productive and contribute, part of the team. So when I think about onboarding, to me, it even starts before the team member starts. Once they've negotiated their salary and they're ready to go, they have signed that employment agreement. There are things that you can do right off the bat. And we'll, look at the order later, but I want to talk about communicate, celebrate, connect, and check in. So starting off, communicate. What do I mean by communicate in the context of onboarding? Well, in the context of onboarding, communicate really is that foundational, fundamental step of making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. You're going through the paperwork, you're looking at employment agreement, the payroll is set up, any sort of deductions or benefits, everything has been filled out. And it's kind of the boring part of onboarding, in my opinion, but their equipment, if they get a laptop, if they need a keyboard or a second monitor, their equipment arrives before they start, so they have time to set it up. If they need to know where the handbook is, if they have to sign back any policies, NDAs, depending, that might be their first week, it might be pre-hire, depending on, the need or the type of organization that they're joining. But all of that needs to be communicated to the new team member joining. And my suggestion would be to make it as easy and as foolproof as possible, ideally leveraging some sort of technology that makes it really obvious when something's missing. When a signature is missing, they're not flipping through pages looking for where the missed signature is or where they need to initial, because there's a flow that they go through likely on some technology. Hopefully not Excel. But I mean, even if you are using an Excel document, if you have everything there, This is so key. It's not the sexy part of onboarding. It's not the, part that's going to blow their mind with how cool or innovative it is. But what it will do is it will completely erode their trust if you screw up in this part of it. Because this is the part that is the confidence building piece. Because if they don't have the equipment to do their job, if they can't figure out how to get their payroll set up or their benefits are active, all of these foundational pieces, this is the confidence that you now have as an organization when you work with this new hire, because they are trusting their career with you. Like, sometimes we forget about this. When new hires start with us, they are taking a leap of faith. They have left something that they've done before, and they are coming to work with us. Maybe they weren't working before, and that's still a bit of a different story. But they are joining your organization, and they are planning and counting on you to pay them, to keep them employed. Like, you create that safety net in their life so that they can pay their bills, they can pay their mortgage, they can save. All of that stuff that they need to do. So remembering that even though it's boring, it's a little less sexy, the paperwork is foundational. When I think of communicate in the onboarding process, communicating what needs to be done, if anything is outstanding, how do you collect it? How do you give it back? So that everyone has what they need in that process. And it can also include some of, the fun stuff like upcoming events, lunch with the CEO. Maybe there's an outing, a hockey game. Maybe there's some sort of theme day coming up. That can all be part of the communication as well, like what to expect in your first week. We're excited that you're joining us. Like, those sorts of communications can be built in there as well. And when you think about this, onboarding as a whole is kind of like inviting someone onto your airplane. If the airplane is their career at your organization, you are inviting them up, the steps to your plane. And are you rolling out the red carpet, or is it this big steel staircase that's a little bit scary to climb? And then when they come into that airplane, are there seatbelts? Are there seatbelts in the seats? Are the TVs working? Like, is there dirt on the floor? Like, all of those little things create that first initial experience. And so this is the very first experience that they're going to have with onboarding, is likely that boring but super important paperwork. So finding a way to do that, giving them the access to information they need. It may also include pointing them in the direction of a handbook or any online e-training classes, compliance training that might need to be done. But I've lumped all of that stuff in my mind around the communicating what needs to be done and how to make everything official. It's fundamental, it's kind of boring, but it's super, super important because it creates a base level of trust. And again, it's not really important if everything goes smooth. It becomes a massive deal if something doesn't go smooth and someone finds out 2 or 3 weeks later that they're not getting paid, or when they go to, 6 months in, they go to get their prescription and their benefits haven't been activated. That, creates a lot of mistrust with the organization, because we want to believe they're there because they, believe in the culture and they want to contribute, and all that could be true, but they also want to get paid. They want to be taken care of. So it's really important that we take care of the communicating and the access to information. Number 2, connection. Connect. How do we help new team members connect? And this is probably one of my favorite pieces within the onboarding and an overall employee experience. So the connect part of a new team member, I think, is the most important. Now, screw up their payroll and you're, in hot water because they need to get paid. But when you take the connection piece, this is where you get to connect on a human level. This is the emotional connection within an organization that I think is absolutely important in creating that engagement and that lifelong employee, or however long they're going to be there. Hopefully it's for many, many years, and they're contributing and they're amazing employees. I read this quote. It says, "You get the employee engagement you deserve. If you don't engage with them, they won't engage with you. If you want them to commit to the cause, you must make an emotional connection with them. So take onboarding personally and make it personal." And that was from George Bratt. So what does connecting have to do with this? And I think this is a piece that gets left out of a lot of the checklists. This is that interpersonal connection. And so what are we connecting to? We're connecting to the company. We're connecting to purpose. We're connecting to the team, the broader team. We're connecting to the manager and their specific team. And we're connecting to their role, their skills, and their competencies. So connecting to the company. This is where you might include an orientation session or multiple orientation sessions, either live or pre-recorded to get information and wrap it with a live session. A lot of orientation sessions are really, really boring and they're compliance-based. I would propose to you that an orientation that weaves in storytelling, that almost weaves in some folklore. So it talks about the CEO or the founder of the organization. Why did they start this organization? What is the history? What are big milestones that the company has, accomplished over the last bunch of years? What are some innovations that this company is really, really proud of? This is the storytelling part of connecting the new team member to the company. What is this company all about? Broader than the products or the widgets or the services that they provide, what is the essence of the organization?
So I started 360 in late 2008. I was getting on an airplane every Monday morning, flying to the U.S., running a company there. I'd come home on Fridays, and one weekend my daughter called me uncle. That really hit home to me. A few years earlier, I lost a brother in a car accident. And really, when I look at things, I wasn't there for my family. I wasn't there for my brother and his family. I couldn't get home during that experience, so I decided that I wanted to build a company close to home. So I walked down the street one day. There was an office building for lease. I'm one of those guys that I've always jump all in, so I figured, why not lease it under my own name? Because then I have a lease to pay for, and I got to figure out what to do with it. So I rented the building under my own name, went in, and on the first day, I bought a whiteboard and a desk, and I said, okay, what am I going to do here? And I came up with three things. I like to do things in threes because it's easy for me to remember. And the three things I put on the wall was, I'm a tech guy. I've always been able to apply technology to new problems, to big markets. So I said, okay, what's a big market that I can apply technology to? The second thing was I sit on the board of a online registration company, and it's a platform technology, and one of the things that they're able to do is it runs and it makes money while the owners sleep. And I was like, I want to build a platform technology because I believe that if we can make profit and do well, we can make a difference in the world. And the third is I want to make people happy. And happiness is a real core thing to me because I believe anything you do in life is all about happiness. If you really look why any actions that you have, why do I go to work? Well, I go to work to make money. I make money because I want to buy things, and the things that I buy are things I select because they're going to make me happy, right? What I eat is all about, what are the things that make me feel good when I eat? If I want to go work out or whatever, it's all about making myself happy. So happiness is a core thing to me. So that was the third thing. And when I thought about, my background, in the 90s, they built an online rebate system for Hewlett-Packard. And I remember that, within a few weeks of running the technology, a check for $50,000 was cashed. And at first I thought it was my bad programming skills, but then I realized that somebody created a fraudulent check. So it was supposed to be a $50 rebate, and they created a fake check. And then I really thought about all the challenges in the promotion space. It's a hundreds of billions of dollar industry, and it really hasn't evolved. So I said that would be an amazing space because I can build technology that can take care of that. It's a massive space to bring technology to. So check on the first two. And at the end of the day, a reward is about making somebody happy, right? It's about driving a purchase of something that the person wants, or promoting having the sales guy promote the product, to make the customer happy, but also to make commissions himself. So promotion's all about happiness. So I figured if we could change the space and make sure it's truly about happiness, then we could build a great company. So I went down that path and built a company around that. And once we started the company, the first thing we did was, I founded in 2008, and right away I created three core commitments. Again, threes, because it's simple. But core one is unbelievable experience for our customers. Core two is unbelievable workplace for our team. And core commitment three is to make a difference in the world. And if you look at those things, I believe that You create an unbelievable experience for your clients, they'll be customers for life, which is really important. If you build an unbelievable workplace, our culture where people are super happy at work, that's going to transpire, to your customers and to all of their customers or partners that they work with. This is really important. You walk in our call center and you see people upset, and yet they get into trouble because when they answer the phone, they say you have to be happy on the phone. Well, if you're not naturally happy, it's very hard to transfer that through a phone call or through an email. So we want to build an environment where people are really, really happy. They can engage the people on the other end of the phone. They can engage the people via email and make them happy as well. And that's really important for our customers. And the third, to make a difference in the world. This is, for me, it's really important. Is how do I make a difference and give back? How do I build a company with a higher purpose? And as for our organization, we look back and say the first month we ever made a profit, December 2010, we built a well in Rwanda. And we are really true to this about how do we give back, how do we make a difference.
That leads into the purpose and the mission. So you might make cars, but are you making just plain cars? Or are you trying to make a difference in the world because you're eliminating carbon fuels? So you don't run on gas, you're Tesla. What is the mission to transform? And it might be related to the business. It might be a side part of the business where they want to be a profitable organization so that they can give to a charity, or maybe they employ a certain demographic of people that is making a difference.
Hey guys, just on our way to our office, the school here in Haiti. Haven't been here for a few months, so I'm super excited to see the team. It actually marks our 4th year anniversary here. We started working in Haiti in 2013. It was a time when one of our core commitments of a company is to make a difference in the world, and I was challenged on what are we actually doing to make a difference in the world. So we looked at some of the opportunities we had in the company, and we had some data entry and claim processing that we were having challenges staffing in Canada and the US. So we decided to look for a partner to help us do that. We originally started in Kenya with Samasaurs. Because of the time zone, we had some challenges, so we thought, why not try something in the Western Hemisphere? And we got connected with Samasaurs and Setimo, and Dutka at Setimo. We came down and visited, and we opened an office in February 2013. And we've really been able to give opportunities and jobs to now over 40 people. Our team has moved from, I would say, poverty to middle class. So we've made a massive impact here in Haiti.
So you're already connected to the history. You start to understand the why because you're looking at the purpose. We also want to connect people to the team, the broader team. People that you might never work with on a day-to-day basis, but you're connecting them with the broader team. And I think that's incredibly important so that you are creating relationships and not just transactions, because we're humans. And at the end of the day, we have good days, we have bad days, we're tired, and when we are connected on a human level, we have more patience for each other and we can encourage each other, and we're willing to go further for each other because I know you as a person, not just as a number who owes me something. So there's a couple of things that I love that we've done to create these different sorts of connections. So we started something called houses, a lot like Harry Potter or House League, if you've ever been in House League in public school. And the idea is that when you join the company, you are assigned a house. You're blue, green, yellow, or red. And when you are assigned a house, you're put into the internal communications. We use Microsoft Teams, and you're put into a Teams channel of just your house. And it doesn't matter if you've worked with any of those people. They be in different departments and software developers and finance and the contact center. But the houses were created to allow people to connect outside of their immediate sphere, outside of their department or their team. You're connecting with people across the entire organization and across the world in different countries. And it's just purely because you're part of this house. I'm part of the Yellow House. I'm super proud to be part of the Yellow House. And throughout the year, we have mini competitions Silly things. It could be like a theme day, wear pink for breast cancer awareness, you get house points. It might be a minute to win it challenge at an all hands meeting, a company wide meeting. But these little things that we do to engage with the channel, and when new hires start, they're welcomed in their house channel. So there's these different connection points, and through there, you can find ways to grow your career, to share knowledge. It's just a pretty fantastic way to connect beyond your specific department. And then you also want to connect with your manager. You want to connect with your direct team. Who does what on your team? How can you help? Where do you fit in? And help managers find ways to connect. Sometimes managers get so busy managing their teams that they need a little bit of encouragement and some framework of how to connect with people. Have them buy lunch. Take the team member out for lunch, or do a virtual coffee meetup where it's not just about work. It's about getting to know them as a person so that they can be an effective people leader. In that same vein, they're going to be able to go over and clarify the role expectations, 30, 60, 90-day goals and plans. How are we going to do the training? Who do they go to for help? All of those things within connecting with the manager. And then finally, you want to connect them to the skills, the competencies, and the role that they're going to be doing. Where do they go to learn how to use the email system? Is it on the job learning? Is there an e-learning module? Is there a wiki page internally that they can learn about the email and the instant messenger? Are they going to be doing shadowing to learn their role, or is there videos they're going to watch? All of these things allow that person to connect. So you're connecting them with the company through storytelling. You're connecting them through the purpose and the impact that the company chooses to make in the world. You're connecting them to the team at large. How are you helping people know that they belong and helping them know that they're more than a number? And then finally, you're connecting them to their manager, their team, and the skills they need to succeed. So some sort of learning development plan that they're getting. Celebration. Celebrate. I think that celebrating is so important. There was a great quote, and it says, "What you measure gets done." And I also believe that if you add in what you celebrate, it gets done willingly and frequently. So I think it's really, really important that you celebrate new hires. And this could be a welcome video. So what we do is before they start, the week before they start, they get a personalized video. So we have made thousands of videos. Hey, Mathanji, my name is Travis Dutka. Hey, Kavita, my name is Travis Dutka. Hey, May, my name is Travis Dutka. Hey there, Urzale, it's Travis Dutka. Hello, Abdamajid, my name is Travis Dutka. Hey, Claudio, my name is Travis Dutka. Hey, Nanish, welcome to the team. Hey, Joanna, it's Travis here from the People and Culture team, and we're all here, as you can see.
Hi, One Me. My name is Erin Merkel. I'm a culture ambassador here at 360 Insights, and I'm here to give you a warm September 1st welcome. That's the day I'm filming this. It's feeling like fall in the air. Great time for new starts. But yeah, welcome to 360. You're starting this coming Monday. I hope you're as excited as we are to meet you. We're always so excited to get new talent, meet new people virtually. I hope you're ready. It's going to be a fun journey, and nothing but good things are coming. So all the best, and reach out if you have any questions. You'll definitely be seeing us soon. So take care. Bye.
You could do swag when they join. You could do swag before they start. Companies do little Lego figurines or hoodies or pens or notebooks, helping that person feel celebrated and a sense of belonging because they now have identity within the organization. New hire emails, sending out new hire emails the day they start. If you have more than one person starting, put what department they're in, put their name, put their favorite color, put a few fun facts about them, and celebrate that they're joining your team. One of the things that we did pre-COVID was when we were all in the office together, we would do, we called it the gauntlet, and we would get a megaphone out, and we would announce the person and their name and their fun facts, and they would run down and high five everyone. It seems a bit bizarre to think about now because of COVID and being such a remote world. Get in your places, everybody.
All right, it's Monday morning, but let's bring up the house and get excited for the new fall starting. All right, we started off with ring and a false start developed
was one of those ways that we celebrated new hires just to create different rhythms and different traditions as an organization when you're creating the onboarding process. What makes it unique to you? What allows that new team member to connect and feel connected, to feel like they belong, and to help them have access to all of the information they need along the way? And finally, what are you doing to check in? Checking in with that new team member is absolutely essential. And the more that you grow, the more feedback you're going to get along the way. When you check in, you're going to learn what you could do better, what you could do differently, and what you could change or stop doing totally. So you're going to want to help the manager, train managers how to check in. You know, in the early days, you might want to check in like once a day, then once a week, then once every couple weeks. And this can continue throughout their first 30, 60, 90 days. You know, why not do it on the 6-month mark? Then create a rhythm of checking in. It doesn't always have to be the manager. It could be HR checking in when benefits go live. It could be the recruiting, the person who helped hire them, to say, hey, how's it going? What do you need from us? Do you have any referrals? So onboarding is one of those things that it can go on long into the person's first year. And I would also highly recommend an onboarding survey. So within the first, 2 to 4 weeks, as the person is getting settled, send out a quick survey to find out what they loved, what they would change, and what they need. What didn't they get that they wish they got? Because then you can look at that feedback and you can change it. So when you check in, it allows you to modify and create a better onboarding program, an onboarding structure, so that the new hires coming in after them are getting the benefit of that learned experience along the way. So once you've taken the time to map out what you're going to do to communicate those essentials, those fundamental parts of the onboarding process, the paperwork, the welcome email, what is that important information that they need to know? So you've mapped all of that out of the bucket of communicate. Then you've got a bucket around connection, connect. How are you going to connect them to the company, to the purpose, to their team, to the broader organization, to their role, to the training? So all of these connection points, you've mapped those out into a bucket. You've celebrated, you figured out how are you going to celebrate? Is it, for their birthday? Is it a card? Is it a video? Is it going to be an email to the company? How are you going to celebrate? And then you figured out how are you going to check in? How are you going to look back and see what can you do? What are you doing really well that you're going to continue to do? And what might need to change? So you've done your communicate, your connect, your celebrate, and your check-in. Once you've created those buckets, then you go to the map. This is how I like to do it. I like to figure out what it is, and then I like to go to the process. So the process or the roadmap, the system, I would recommend creating some sort of map where you then take a timeline from pre-hire to 90-day to 6-month to a year after they've been hired, and you slot in those moments of communication, of check-in, of connection, of celebration, and you map it out into that map. And then you can step back from that map and go, whoa, maybe we need to celebrate a little bit more. There's 3 months of no celebrating. What can we celebrate for this person? Or we haven't checked in. Wow, now that we see it laid out this way, we realize we haven't checked in anywhere. So let's do a quick survey, or let's have HR do a quick phone call. So once you have all your ideas, then you can put it down on a map to see where they fit and what you might be missing. You can also then start to create some accountabilities of who is doing what. Because onboarding new team members requires all hands on deck. You need IT, likely for equipment, login information, passwords. You're going to need the HR team to complete the paperwork. You might have finance or payroll going through setting up their direct deposits. You might have the manager looking to map out their goals and their career path. You're going to have maybe other team members, maybe culture ambassadors doing the buddy system or some way of onboarding, keeping connected with those team members. So once you know what needs to be done, then you can start to assign responsibilities of who's going to do it so that nothing falls between the cracks. Now, it's really, really interesting because as you continue to grow or different parts of the onboarding cycle happen with different busy times within your business, you might find that all of a sudden the equipment's not getting to the people on time, and they're starting without their laptops. Or the paperwork is getting all messed up and it's not in the system, they're missing their payroll. So when you have that map and you have the accountabilities and the responsibilities assigned out, it allows for it to just be really simple to review it. You bring all of the stakeholders together. You can say, hey, this is the feedback we're getting from the survey or from our check-in. Equipment was late or payroll was delayed. And you can figure out, well, do we need to change? What's going on? I know with our organization, we had it where equipment wasn't getting to team members on time. And what it was after a conversation, we realized it was a simple fix, that IT needed a little bit more time. So we just gave more of a heads up. And when we realized, well, maybe that won't work because we're hiring too quickly, we were able to carve out budget for IT to have some stock inventoried so we could get it out quicker. So once you create the plan, there's going to be hiccups along the way that are going to go, or change. We went from being in one office to being in multiple offices around the world as we continue to grow. So now we need to modify that process. But when you create that framework based on what do you value, what is your organization all about, how do you put your personal values, your personal mission, the purpose of your organization, how do you weave that and integrate that into every part of the onboarding process so that team member knows who they are, they know what they need to do, and they can tell that they belong, that they are part of this team because of the experience that you have just brought them through. One of my favorite quotes is by Maya Angelou, and it says that people forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And I am a firm believer that the onboarding experience, although it won't guarantee success for 100% of your employees, it will increase the engagement, the participation, the connection, and ultimately the output that employee is going to give to your organization when you onboard them with care, with intentionality, and with creativity. So I hope that you took a few little nuggets from this onboarding session. And remember, you can download all sorts of great resources to actually help you create those frameworks. But I want to encourage you, as you're looking at it, as you're reevaluating maybe an existing process or creating a brand new one, how do you create those personal connections that allow that person to know that they are cared for, that they can trust your organization, that they feel special, they feel unique, and they have an experience of what makes your company different and unique for them.